Good morning. All right. Today we are going to be talking about how do we get our outline that we created last week with all your slides, our outline for our argumentative essay. How do we put that into paragraphs? Okay. So that's what we're going to be working on today. So we are doing this again on Google Classroom. So now you have a second assignment on Google Classroom called Argumentative Essay Rough Draft. Okay. This is where you're going to be putting your outline into paragraphs. So I have some directions for you at the top. So you want to read those first. And then after you have read the directions, you've watched my video, and you have finished your slides on Google Classroom, then you're ready to start putting it into paragraphs, okay? So right underneath this line, this is where you're going to start putting your slides into paragraphs. So I'm going to use Jaden's as an example. So if you go back to Google Classroom, the slides you worked on last week, I'm just going to do the first two slides as an example. So some people already put their boxes, they already put everything into complete sentences already. If you did that, awesome. You'll have less work to do. If you didn't, that's okay. You'll just need to structure it into complete sentences when you're putting it into paragraphs. All right, so the nice thing is the slides are already organized in order that the sentences should be in. So we're starting with our hook. So if I'm Jaden, I can just go ahead and copy and paste my hook. So Control C, put it over here, Control V to paste it, okay? You might want to mess with the size of the text, so I would say it needs to be around 12, would probably be good. And then don't forget to indent your paragraphs, and how you do that is you press the tab button. Okay, so he says, should self-driving cars be able to fly? Well, that's a good question. He already has his two sentences, they're complete sentences, so he doesn't need to add anything to that. So I'm going to go back to his slide. Then you start with your background information. Okay, so he has a fact about self-driving cars. So again, I'm going to copy and paste that, put it over here. And what you might want to do is just go ahead and copy the entire paragraph and then work on structuring it. Okay, self-driving cars, here we go. All right, so now that I have all my sentences, now I can focus on, all right, let's make this 12-point font. And then double spaced is nice. It makes it easier to read. So if you go up here to line spacing, clicking double spaced. Okay, so again, Jaden already has his incomplete sentences. So he would more need to look at, okay, do I have a hook? Do I have two pieces of background information? Does it make sense? Does it relate to my topic? If something is totally random and off topic, then we probably don't want to include it. And then does he have his claims? He's saying that self-driving cars should not replace normal cars. That is his claim. He is taking a side on the topic. So he is good to go to his next paragraph. However, if your sentences are not complete, you don't have a claim, you really want to take this time to make your sentences complete. All right, I'm going to go over his second paragraph because that one can be a little confusing. So now we have our first reason. So again, make sure that you first state what your reason is. So he's saying that self-driving cars can cause serious accidents. Make sure, since we're going to a new paragraph, we want to indent so that the reader knows that you're starting a new paragraph. And again, you just click tab to do that on your keyboard. Okay, so when you guys are doing your evidence, if you got something directly from a website, you need to put quotation marks around it. Okay, so he got this fact from a website. Most self-driving cars are made up of not one, but 30 to 100 computers. That is a lot of technology where things could go wrong. Okay, so since he got that directly from a website, he needs to put it in quotation marks. Also, you want to have some sort of sentence starter at the beginning of your sentence to lead into your evidence. So this, according to a website, or kind of like the author of this website stated. So something that's going to lead into your evidence. Okay, so he has, according to a website, he has a comma that's leading into our evidence. Okay. After the evidence, that's where you have to explain the evidence in your own words. Okay, so again, I'm going to go over here, Control C, Control V, fix up the formatting. So he's explaining that self-driving cars can have computer malfunctions. The car's computer can get hacked or something could go wrong to cause danger to the environment and the community. So he is explaining that quote in his own words. So this is another place that you're going to have to check, okay, does my explanation actually relate to my quote? And is it in my own words? Okay, if it's not, then this is something that we're going to have to work on. And again, now that I have my sentences, I can work on double spacing it and structuring it. Okay, And I'm not going to go through the rest of them, but you get the idea of making sure, okay, do I have complete sentences? Am I copying and pasting it in order? Does everything relate to my topic? Okay. So today we're spending time, again, putting these into paragraphs. Every time you finish a paragraph and you feel like, okay, it's on topic, everything's complete, things are spelled right, it looks good, notify your teacher. That way we can help you with it live on Zoom, or we can make comments on the rough draft for you. Okay. And then last thing, at the bottom of your document, the rubric for the essay is there. So this is something that you can be checking periodically to make sure you're on the right track. This is what we're going to be grading you on. Don't forget, this is a test grade, so making sure that you have everything included is very important. All right, you guys are good to go. If you have questions, you can always get onto Zoom or email your teacher.